Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Bookmas. I'm losing track of what day it is. Is it day 4? Day 3? Day 4, right? Welcome back to Bookmas 2025. Today, you and I are gonna grab our coffees, sit, and chat books. We're gonna talk our faves and our least faves of the year. Okay, I'm gonna go through each month, list my favorite book, list my least favorite book, talk a little bit about them. Don't worry, I'll keep it snappy, keep it pushing. And then let's have a little kiki in the comments, shall we? Let me know all your thoughts. Let me know if you've read these books, if you haven't read these books, if these thoughts bring up any other thoughts or opinions that you have. Let me know. Just a reminder, disagreements are valid, disrespect is not. That's our motto over here. We can talk books without it turning ugly, you know? There's just really no need for that. So, before we get into the monthly reads, don't forget to join the community. Hit the subscribe button. Follow me in all the bookish media spaces. All the links are in the description for your ease of service. We got book talk, we got Bookstagram, Goodreads, Fable, all the things. Let's have a party, okay? Now, my friends, let's get into it. Starting off strong in January, we're gonna start positive, okay? My favorite read of this month was The Light We Carry by Michelle Obama. This is a memoir and it's magic. Highly recommend, go pick this up. I'm not even gonna give you a synopsis because you just need to read it and take in all that information. It makes you think, it makes you question, and it's just so inspiring while also being like down to earth and grounded and realistic. I loved it. Now moving on to my least favorite book of this month, that was Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. Now, don't come for me, okay? Let me explain. If you don't know, this is the second installment in the Boys of Tommen series by Chloe Walsh, which comes right after Binding 13. Now, Johnny and Shannon, not my favorite. I'm so sorry. I found it a little cringy. I think it's just, I don't know, a little off-putting. I'm also in my 20s, so I'm not sure YA is still like the thing for me. However, I think it was so important. Like these reads, this whole series is so important for awareness and education and just takes into account so many different perspectives and so many really important issues in our world. So, do I recommend this series? Yes. Did I really love Keeping 13 or Binding 13? No. Moving on. February, my birthday month. My most favorite book, I should say books, of this month were the Heartstopper series. This just did it for me. We follow Charlie Spring and Nick Nelson, who are two British teenage boys, and they meet, they fall in love, they navigate an LGBTQ plus relationship in high school and everything that comes with that, all of the struggles, all of the joy. And we also get to follow along with like their friend group and other people who go to their school. It's just really wholesome, really lovely. This is a graphic novel, by the way, so you move through them quite quickly. I read like all 5 books within the span of like one day. It was a lovely experience and just so wholesome, like just made my entire heart happy. Highly recommend. Now, my least favorite of this month was Pride by Samantha Ryan. This is a YA Pride and Prejudice remix. It's set in New York. We follow Avery, who is a business developer, and Ben, who buys the building next door. They bug each other. They get on each other's nerves. The rest is history. I don't really remember much of it at all, to be honest. I had like research what even happened in the book because I was like, I don't remember. And I just remember it taking like over a month to get through. So that one I actually started in January, didn't finish until February. So that's that on that. Let's move on to March, shall we? My favorite read of March was Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. We're switching it up, okay? See, this is where I'm gonna give some love. This is the 3rd installment in the Boys of Tommen series and the first one that follows Joey and Aoife, the loves of my life. The things that they go through and their partnership through it all is so beautiful and complicated and rough and human. They're flawed, they're not perfect, they struggle, but it's just like when that's your person and you do what you gotta do, you know? And you try so hard. Again, jam-packed full of important themes and struggles and messages and lessons and issues. And unlike Johnny and Shannon, I adore Joey and Aoife. So that's it. If you get a man with Joey's commitment and work ethic, like you're set. And my least favorite of March was Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Now, I'm usually an Ali Hazelwood lover, okay? Again, don't come for me. But this one just did not do it for me at all. Like, at all. We follow Misery Lark and, what's his name? Lo. We follow Misery and Lo. Misery is a vampire woman and Lo is the leader of a wolf pack. They get into like this arranged marriage thanks to Misery's dad in order to like keep the peace between like the vampires and the werewolves within their space. So basically, if like the vampires were to do anything anything that like pissed off the werewolves, Misery would be in grave danger, if you know what I mean. So there's a lot at stake. And through all this, Misery is like trying to find or figure out what happened to her friend. She like went missing. Anyway, I don't know, like the premise sounds really interesting, but I just couldn't get into it. Would I try again? Yes, I absolutely would try again. I just maybe wasn't in like the right era for me to read this. Like I just wasn't in the right headspace. I don't know. And it just was taking me forever and I just didn't want to pick it up. So I did DNF this one, but I did get about halfway through. So I gave it a good chance. All right. Next up, April. My favorite was one of my top reads of the year, Happy Place by Emily Henry. Now, the grievances that I've heard about Happy Place, I'm sorry. If you hated Happy Place and like you feel that strongly about it, you've never been in a similar situation or like understood the main character's dilemma and mindset and life. This is a second chance romance, which I don't usually love, where we follow Harriet and Wynne as they like reconnect and end up in the same place like without realizing it after they had dated for 10 years, gotten engaged, and then broken up. I feel like a big reason why people don't like this novel is because of the career choice that our FMC makes at the end. Listen, if you're a fan of dreamy, you're a fan of whimsy, you'll love this book. I don't know what hurt y'all, but like, please, let a girl be happy. Let a girl follow her dreams. Let a girl not do what her parents wanted her to do just because her parents wanted her to do it. No, it's 2025. We're not making ourselves miserable for 60 some years just to make some money and like have a mortgage. To be clear, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to make the money. That was just not the situation here, okay? As you can tell, I'm very passionate. I literally was talking about synopsis and then I started going into like grievances in my opinion. But anyway, we follow these two. They end up back in New England for a summer with their group of friends, but it's different this year because they're all in their 20s and 30s. Like they're all doing different things. Some of them are engaged or having kids or doing this and that, and everybody's in a different place in their life, which is just such a real weird thing that people go through in their 20s and 30s of like everyone's doing something vastly different. And that's just kind of the way it is. And you gotta figure out where you fit into it and how like your friendship can exist and thrive and be maintained even though like someone's having a child and then someone else is traveling the world, you know? I just thought that was beautiful and so interesting and so engaging. And also the way they handle their conflict and talk it out and come back to each other in the end is just so beautiful and so realistic. A lot of people think that that's not realistic. I feel like I have been in that exact scenario, and like the emotional intelligence it takes to come back to one another and be honest and share vulnerable things as they did is just so beautiful. And we should all be trying to live up to that level of connection and honesty and vulnerability and emotional availability, in my opinion. So, Happy Place Family Henry, a masterpiece. Again, it's for the fans of the whimsy, alright? Now, my least favorite of this month was Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. Did I hate it? No. Do I remember really anything that happens in it? Also no. This is the second installment in the Divine Rivals duology, which I think is called like the Letters of Enchantment. And in it, we follow Iris and Roman after they were separated during an attack on their outpost at Avalon Bluff. Basically, it follows like the coming back together, the finding each other again, the struggle with memory loss. It just didn't do much for me. And I don't really have much of an excuse for that. It's just like, it didn't hit. And it was a shame because I truly, truly, truly loved Divine Rivals. Like, I just thought it was so beautiful. And it just lost a bit of, like, I know it's a very serious, like, war-torn novel, but, like, it had so much whimsy in it as well, I feel like Divine Rivals did. Ruthless Vows just went off a little bit and lost the, like, the magic a little bit, I think. I don't know if that's a hot take, but that is my opinion. Moving on to May. In May, my favorite book, I didn't have a lot of favorites in May. I don't think I read very many books in May, actually. So my favorite was a reread. I reread The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, which follows Clementine, who moves into her late aunt's apartment in New York City. Clementine is a book publicist, and this apartment has a little bit of a magical twist, a little bit of a magical energy to it. She ends up with a temporary roommate. She's not sure when he's gonna be there and when he's not because the apartment is time traveling. I know. Sounds ridiculous. Sounds crazy. It is so well done. It is so good. Again, I keep talking about whimsy in this. I don't know why. This book is the definition of whimsy and dreamy and lovely. Our MMC can cook, first of all. And it's just, I find this is such a great representation of just like the quiet moments in a love story and in a romance and in a connection, a relationship. Like those quiet nights in where you're just cooking and existing and chatting and just being alive together. I can't even describe how much I love that book. So highly recommend if you've not picked it up yet, this is your sign. Actually, it's not really a winter read, to be fair. So maybe save it for spring, summertime, but put it on your list nonetheless. Now, my least favorite book of this month was The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. This is a self-care, not self-care. self-help book that has about 3 pages worth of help. It is so repetitive. There's so many just like random personal stories in it that I feel like she just like wanted to share. Some of them are quite horrific. I'm like, Diva, what? Why did you do that? Why did you say that? It's not as relatable as she thinks it is. I'm sorry. I think at its core, the message of like, you can't control other people, so like control what you can control is a great message. I think that like a lot of people can benefit from that greatly. However, it just goes further than that and it starts to get a little bit like enably. I will say I'm so glad there was like a let me section, because like you can only let them so much until you like let me and like take control of your own destiny, you know? So that was good. I don't think it was very valuable as a read. I feel like I read the same anecdote like 15 times per chapter. Anyways, you get it. Not my favorite thing ever. Would not recommend. And I just think it can be misconstrued in a lot of ways and become toxic. Just not good. Not good. Moving on to June. In June, my favorite read was Redeeming Six. Okay, so see, I was slowly working my way through this series. This is the 4th installment in the Boys of Tommen series and the wrap up, not really wrap up, but like, well, sort of, to Joey and Aoife's story. It's the 2nd book that is dedicated to Joey and Aoife. This was my favorite book in this series, okay? By far. I think it is so raw, like just so raw. And the coming together and the growing up and the maturity. Oh, I was just hooked. Every single page, I was like, oh my God, it had me thinking. I got so much out of it. Don't let anybody tell you that fiction can't teach you things. I highly recommend. I'm not gonna tell you too much, obviously, because you have to get to the 4th book in this series in order for me not to spoil. So yeah, I highly recommend this series. Would I recommend you stop after the 4th book? Yes. Which leads us into my least favorite read, which was Taming Seven, which was the next book in this series. This is the 5th installment. This is Gibbsy and Claire's book. Gibbsy and Claire always didn't really do it for me. I think it's just a little strange to me. I don't relate to them on any level. I thought the way they dealt with this trauma was very interesting. I also just don't love Gibbsy and Claire's personalities. I think Gibbsy worked so well as like a side character. Sorry. It is very interesting to like learn his backstory and like why he is the way that he is. I just don't think it needed to be that long. I didn't need an entire book dedicated to it. I just didn't love it, okay? That's that. Let's move on to July. My favorite, again, I didn't have a lot of favorite reads, so I actually didn't love this book, but it was my favorite of the month, and that was The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Basically, a woman, trigger warning, takes her own life. Instead of passing away, she gets stuck in this like in-between life and death midnight library. And in this library, all of her possible lives exist all in one place, and she can get like teasers from each one. So basically, like every choice you make in life obviously leads down a different path, right? So like every single outcome of every single decision that you've ever made, there's a separate book for in this library. So she has to see other ones to like gain perspective and learn. And I just think the whole concept was quite beautiful. Was it heavy-handed? Yes. Was I like, all right, girl, like, yes. But I think at its core, it's a great book, makes you think. And I enjoyed it. It was a fun time. And it's not long, so like, do the thing. And my least favorite. I know you're so tired of talking about Boys of Tommen. There's one more. I'm so sorry. Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh was my least favorite read of July. This one I think is the worst book in the series, to be honest. I think Taming Seven is the most boring book in the series, but I think Releasing 10 makes the least sense and it's just all over the place, like inconsistencies with dates and times and what was going on. Like at one point she's like, this person's been here for this many days, and I flipped back, I was like, I thought they went on this day, and they did, and that was like double the time that they've now been there. It's just like, I was like, what is going on? They were supposed to be like young kids, like 4 or 5, and they were talking as if they were teenagers. Like it was just like, what is going on? It was so not grounded in reality. This is like the first book in that series that I feel like really went off the rails, and it's just a shame because it's like so important, and again has all those themes and such interesting topics. Like I don't think there is a form of trauma that doesn't exist somewhere in these books, so it is perspective altering to say the least. Okay, this one just was all over the place to me, and I was very excited when it was done. Sorry, I didn't even tell you what this book is. It's Lizzie's book and Hugh. I don't mind them as characters. Lizzie was just dealt an awful card and was just abused from basically the very beginning. So yeah, it's an interesting one. And if you're already 5 books deep, like you might as well read the 6th one, you know? Yeah, that's that on that. Let's move on to August. shall we? In August, we have another Emily Henry as my favorite, and it is Beach Read, all right? I know, I had never read this until this year. It was beautiful. Like, it lived up to the hype, I'm not even gonna lie. This is like the deepest Emily Henry book, I think. Like, it's so introspective and so important. Basically, we follow January, who's a romance writer who moves into her late father's apartment and basically doesn't believe in love anymore. As a romance writer, that's a problem, obviously, so she needs to like get her spark back. But what ruined her spark was her dad and his infidelity, because men. But this house happens to be right next to Gus Everett's home, who is a literary fiction writer and who kind of like doesn't believe in like romance book tropes and the happy ever after of it all. And they meet, actually, again, I think they like knew each other in college, or like knew of each other in college. We find out that Gus actually knew a lot more about January than January thought. But yeah, it's like a small town summer romance. They connect, they learn from each other, they lean on each other. Oh, it's just beautiful. I loved it. They make so many discoveries like about themselves through connecting with each other, which is what I absolutely love about this. It's not just about the romance, it's like more so about the self-discovery and growth individually that then connects them and helps them be better for each other and meet as like two ships in the night. It's gorge. Loved it. Also, the imagery, so strong in this book. Like from the very beginning, I was like, I'm here, I'm sat, I can see it. Let's go. Now, my least favorite book of this month was Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. And again, like, I'm usually such an Ali Hazelwood fan. I read all of her STEM romances last year, other than Love Theoretically, and I just love them. Or not even last year, like a while ago. But anyways, I love them. And then I just chose not great ones this year, unfortunately. I didn't love Not in Love, so I don't know why I thought I was gonna like Problematic Summer Romance. I actually didn't realize that they were in the same series, so that's probably why. If you don't know, Problematic Summer Romance is the second installment in the Not in Love world by Ali Hazelwood. And this one's an age gap romance. Not my vibe. And I think that this book was trying to like prove it to me that it could be my vibe. Like, it was trying to disprove all the reasons why people hate age gap, and I just don't think it worked. I'm like, I still hate it. You didn't fix anything. It's not even like the way that you portray it or any of the circumstances can make it better. It's just not good, in my opinion. We follow Maya and Connor, who end up in the same place because Maya's brother, is getting married. And they knew each other in the past. Like, they knew each other when Maya was a kid and Connor was not. So, like, weird. Like, that actually just makes it 10 times worse. But anyway, I just wasn't into it. Didn't like it. Very physical romance, like not much chemistry, not much communication or love. I felt like it was just very lusty. Not my vibe. I also felt that way about Not in Love though, so beware. September, yay! The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I have no words. This was my favorite book of the month by far. I actually read The Women this month too. I said by far, but like it was kind of hard to decide between the two, to be honest. But The Nightingale is just so beautiful. It's like the reason why I love reading, to put it lightly. This is a historical fiction novel set in World War II, follows two sisters as they navigate the war, struggle to survive, lean on each other even though they have so many differences in like literally every way. Their relationship with their father, for more context, is set in France during the occupation, and each sister is both fighting for something so important, but they don't like see eye to eye in the beginning, and it's just gorge. It's just gorge. I love it. I mean, I know you've heard about it 1,000 times, I'm sure. It's just an unreal book, and it's so good. Read it if you haven't, please. Say You'll Remember Me. Again, I'm normally an Abby Jimenez fan. I don't know what was going on this year, but Say You'll Remember Me was just so bland. We follow Xavier, who's this veterinarian, and Samantha, who's a pet owner. She's pretty fierce. She's pretty headstrong. They go on one date, but like she knows she's leaving, so I don't even know why they do that. But they go on this one date. It's like an amazing date. They like get stuck overnight in like a spaceship thing at an arcade. I don't know. It's very strange. But anyway, she like then jets off to like go take care of her mom with her family across the country. Long distance romance. I don't know. They're just like constant complaining about the distance. Like, so fair. Any long distance relationship is hard, 100%. I also think it strengthens a relationship so much. Like, it's so important in the journey of a relationship, I think. I think long distance is just so telling, informative, and educating. But just the constant complaining about it, like, I think I'm out of touch because I'm in a long distance relationship, but I'm in a like across the world long distance relationship, like 14-hour difference, 17-hour plane ride difference. So, and they saw each other like once a month or something. Like, that's a lot for a long distance relationship, in my opinion, in my worldview. So my perception is very different. I don't think it's a bad book. I also just didn't like their dynamic. I thought it was weird. I didn't think they were compatible. Chemistry wasn't chemistrying, in my opinion. She was a little aggressive and he was a little like, I'm perfect, golden retriever. Not my thing. I don't know. So anywho, moving on to October, we have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by TJR. Taylor Jenkins Pumpkins read, you are a mastermind. This was so intricate, so thought out, so unique. I've never read anything like this. Basically, we follow a fictional Hollywood star named Evelyn Hugo who is in her 70s and is finally like willing to tell her life story about her 7 husbands and everything that happened and came in between. She's like famous for not sharing, but she like picks this one journalist, Monique Grant, who's like not a big name or anything, to do this interview and to write her biography. Monique is like, why me? You know? She's like, what the heck? Evelyn's like, it has to be you. The reason why, when she finds out, is shocking and it'll get you. All right? It was wild. I loved it. Wild ride, enthralling ride, great ride. It was so good. Now, my least favorite read in October was The Full Moon Coffee Shop. This is about a coffee shop that only appears during a full moon and basically like serves people what they need, like advice. It's heavy-handed. It's not very like groundbreaking or rich or deep. I had a hard time getting through it. Not fast-paced. Just didn't love it. No aggressive grievances, just didn't love it. And moving on to the last month we're gonna talk about, which is November. Obviously, we're only a few days into December, so I don't know what my least and favorite are. So for now, let's talk about my most loved in November, which is Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. This is a beautiful book. This book has a trope that most of the time people don't like, including me. This was done so beautifully, so well. Basically, our FMC and MMC meet at a Halloween party and they hit things off. They bond over the fact that they both have limb disabilities and they just connect. The chemistry is chemistrying, all right? Things get spicy that night. Maybe a little too spicy. And then just the teamwork and the connection and the relationship they build through this, I want to say obstacle, but it's not even an obstacle. It's like the most beautiful thing that could have happened to them and like where they were in their headspaces, like they like needed this. Oh, it's so beautiful. I read it so fast. I highly recommend. Even if you don't think you'll like it, give it a shot, please. It is gorge. I cannot wait to read another book by Miss Hannah Bonham Young because that one ate, all right? And the last book we're going to talk about today, my least favorite book of November, and that was The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. Okay, not a surprise. It's a fluffy little fall romance. It's silly. It had me rolling my eyes. It was cringy. We follow Jeannie, who moves to a small town and takes over her Aunt Dot's cafe. She wants to like start over. She wants to fit in and she struggles to find her way. She's not sure she's accepted. She has a little bit of a tough time mentally, but of course Logan, the hot farmer, comes along and fixes that right up for her. Not without struggle, not without like, you know, issues, but he's like apparently emotionally unavailable because he had this like public humiliation thing with his ex. But yeah, nothing like crazy bad about this novel, just like it just doesn't have much value, you know? And that was kind of the point. I just wanted like a fall read and that it gave me that, okay? So no heavy complaints on that one. Just definitely was not my favorite read of November or anywhere near it, obviously. So that, my friends, is all I have for you today. Those are my favorite and least favorite books of 2025 by month. I really hope you enjoyed. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for making it this far. If you did, drop a comment and let me know which of these you've read, which of these you loved, which of them you maybe didn't love, and let's just chat books in the comments, all right? On that wavelength, if you love to chat books, if you love to over-caffeinate yourself, romanticize things, overanalyze fiction, learn from what you read, and hang out with the girlies, have a little yap sesh, then you're meant to be here, okay? I don't make the rules, I just create the content. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell so you can stay organized with all of your bookmasses happening. I know there's a lot. We gotta stay locked in and have the most beautiful day. Spend a little bit more time reading today, a little bit less time scrolling, and connect with people. If that's an option, always connect with people. I will see y'all in the next one in just 2 days. Bye for now.